Hi friends, hope you are all doing well. So in today's video, we are going to learn 8085 programming. So I am going to teach you basics of programming and then we are going to a higher level. Okay. So first the first program is we are going to add two numbers using LDA and STA instructions. Then I am going to teach you the second program in a professional way. The same program in a professional way. When you are going to do serious programming, we have to introduce M. Okay. So I will teach you to add two numbers using M. Okay. In program 3, I am going to tell you the block transfer programs. First we will see a normal block transfer. Okay. And then that is how to take data from one place to another. That is copy paste. Okay. In the fourth program, I will teach you the inverted block transfer. That is, we have a series of data. For example, we have series of data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, after transfer, it should be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Then in the last program of today's video, I am going to show you how to exchange two blocks. Okay. That is, you have series of data of two blocks. You are going to exchange from one location to another location. Okay. You have to exchange the data. Okay. So this is what is the video is all about. Okay. Okay. Now the first program is write a program to add two 8-bit numbers stored in memory location 2000 and 2001, stored the sum in 2002 and carry in 2003. So this is your first program. Okay. Now both 2000 and 2001 contains 8-bit numbers, right? These the numbers that I have told to add, they are stored in 2000 and 2001 and both are 8-bit numbers. Now you tell me, when you add two 8-bit numbers, okay, when you add two 8-bit numbers, the answer is 8 bits, right? So that is the sum. When you add two 8-bit numbers, x plus y, suppose this is a one 8-bit number and this is another 8-bit number, the result is always of 8 bits. Okay, suppose the result is z. Okay, this is your sum. Okay, but there is also a possibility of carry. So what are the values of carry? When you add two numbers, there is a possibility there is a carry. What are the possible values of carry? That is either 0 or 1. Okay. Now the highest possible 8-bit hexadecimal number can be, what is the highest possible 8-bit hexadecimal number? FF, right? So when you add two 8-bit hexadecimal numbers, highest possible hexadecimal numbers, the answer is 1FE. The answer is 1FE, where FE is the sum, and 1 is the carry, right? Where F is the sum and 1 is the carry. So if I don't tell you where to store the sum and carry, okay, here in the question it is told that you have to store the sum in 2002 and the carry in 2003. But suppose if it is not mentioned in the program, if not mentioned in the question, you have to follow the rule to store the sum and carry. Okay, that what is the rule? Lower byte in lower address and higher byte in higher address, right? So in 2002, which is the lower byte address here? FE is the lower byte, so it should be stored in 2002. And which is the higher byte? 1. That is 0. It should be stored in 2003. Okay. So now obviously suppose you are adding 9 plus 4. Okay, 13. It is the ones place, is the tens place. So this is the lower byte and this is the higher byte 1. Okay. So the lower byte should be stored at the lower address and the higher byte should be stored in the higher address. Okay, understood? This is the rule. Now since I mentioned in the program, the sum you have to store in the 2002, that is the lower address, and the carry, which is the higher byte, it should be stored in 2003. So I hope the question is clear. So let us do the program in the simplest way possible. Okay. Now as this is the first time you are doing 8085 programming, now please focus. Okay, so now you want to add two numbers stored in 2000 and 2001. Okay, now when to add two numbers from the address, from memory address, take them to registers. Okay, take them to registers. Now you tell me to which register you will take it. There are 7 registers: A, B, C, D, E, H and L. Okay, when you have to take the data from the memory address, you have to take it into some register. So in which register you will load it? You will load it. There are 7 registers. Obviously to A, because we have instruction called LDA. We have instruction called LDA. There is no such instruction like LDB or LDC. There is no such instruction. Only you have instruction LDA. That is, load the data from memory address so and so into accumulator. So you have to load the data from memory location into A. Okay. So once the data comes into A, you can transfer it to any other register. Okay. So you have to take the first data into A. Now immediately transfer the data to some other register like B, because you have to take the another data into A. So you have to free A so that you can load the second data. Understood the procedure? First you have to take the first data into A. Okay, after you have taken the first data into A, move it to some other register, say B. Okay, then after you copy it into B, your A becomes free, so you again load the second data into A. So my first number is in B and the second number is in A. Now you add both the numbers. Okay, so let us write the instructions up here. So take the first number into A, LDA 2000. So what happens? Whatever data is there in memory location 2000 will go to A. Right? This is our first instruction. What is the second instruction? Then transfer into B. Okay? Transfer this data which is loaded in A into B. Move B comma A. So whatever data was there in A is now copied in B. Okay, so our A becomes free, right? We can copy some other data into A. Now in the third instruction, what to do? LDA 2001. LDA 2001. So whatever data was there in 2001, it will go to accumulator. Understood? So where is our first data? Our first data is in A, and the second data is in, the first data is in B and the second data is in A. So this is the up to here we have completed. Now we have loaded the data from memory. What will be the next instruction? The next instruction is to add the numbers. We have to add the two numbers which are stored in A and B. Right? We have to add the numbers which are stored in A and B. Okay. What is the instruction? Add B. That is A plus B. If you write add B, what will happen? A plus B. So whatever data is stored in A, that is the data of location 2001, will be added with the data of register B. That is the data of 2000. Okay. And after addition, where the result will be stored? In A. Right? In A. Right? So after that, what is stored in the question? The sum should be stored in 2002 and the carry should be in 2003. Now where is the sum stored? After I add B, it is in A. Right? Let us write the program. What we have done first? We have done LDA 2000. Okay. Then we have done move B comma A. First you have loaded the first number and then you have copied to some other register. Then you have loaded the second number LDA 2001. Okay. We have loaded the second number LDA 2001. Okay. Then what you have done? Add B. You have loaded both the numbers. One number is in B and the second number is in A. So here we have added both the numbers and the result is stored in A. So we want to store the result in memory location 2002 as told in the question. Okay. So what will be the instruction? What will be the instruction? STA 2002. But after addition there is a possibility of carry. Now the sum we are going to store in 2002 and at 2003 we are going to store the carry. So there is a possibility, because we don't know the data, we have to load the data, right? So after addition there is a possibility of carry. So let us assume the carry is in C flag, C register. The carry is in C register. Okay. We will then what we will then do? We will then transfer the data from A to 2002 and carry from C to 2003. Okay. So the only thing in our mind is to how to get the carry. Okay. Up to here it is very clear. Now the thing is how to get the carry into C register. Okay. Then only we can transfer it into 2003. Right. Now after you write add B, where the result is stored in A. So you store it in memory location 2002 as told in the question. STA 2002. So whatever data is there in A will get stored in 2002. Right? Whatever data is there in A will get stored in 2002. Okay? Now assume the carry is in C register. We can assume the carry is in C register. Okay. Now from C register you are going to put it in 2003. How will you do it? From C register you are going to put it in 2003. Your carry should be stored in 2003. So from C register we have assumed that the carry is stored in C register. Okay. So from C register you are going to put it in 2003. How you are going to put it in 2003? By writing STC 2003. Is there any instruction like STC 2003? No. So if you have to take the carry into 2003, okay, you have to first store the carry from register C to A. Okay. So from A you store it at 2003. Okay. How to move the carry from C to A? Move A comma C. Move A comma C. Okay. That is whatever carry was there in C will now go to A, and then STA 2003. The carry will go to 2003. Whatever the carry was, it will either 0 or 1, it will go to 2003. And we will end the program by writing halt. Okay. Now the only thing left to be done here is get the correct value of carry into C register. Up to here it is clear, but there is something in between we have to do with the carry. So to understand this, what I have told, we have assumed that the carry is stored in C register. Okay. Now tell me who holds the carry. After you do the addition, carry comes to the carry flag. Okay. After you do an addition, the carry flag is either 0 or 1. That is, the carry flag changes its status. So what we need to do is, from the carry flag, get the carry into C register. We have to get the carry status into C register. That is, if the carry flag is 0, we have to get in C register, or if the carry flag is 1, you have to get in C register. Now how to do this? Now apply some logic. What is the logic? If carry flag is 1, make register C 1. if carry flag is 0, make register C 0. Okay. Now C register can have only two values, either 0 or 1. Now remember, don't try to find out two values. That is the stupid programming. Carry can have only one value, either 0 or 1. So MVI C. So in the starting of the program, what I have told, you have to assume that the carry is stored in the C register. So first you initialize carry with 00H in the starting of the program. Okay. So in the starting, I have started my programming assuming C to be 00. What does it mean? After addition, if there is no carry, my program is already working in this manner. Okay. That is, if I have to do nothing. Did you understand? That is, I have to do nothing. But now I have to handle two cases. Or in the first case, if there is a carry, what will happen? If there is a carry, what will happen? The carry register, the C register will become 1. Okay. If there is a carry, then the C register will become 1 INR C, right? INR C. So INR C should be written only if there is a carry. If there is no carry, I should not do this. So what I have to do? I have to put a condition. Okay. Now here I have to take a decision. If there is a carry, I should INR C and continue. And if there is no carry, I should jump to 2002. Okay, and continue. So there is an instruction called JNC, right? JNC skip. So skip is a level, basically it is a memory address. When you compile it, the assembler will take it as an address. So JNC skip. So if there is no carry, it will skip. Where? It will skip to STA 2002. Understood? If there is no carry, it will directly jump to skip, that is STA 2002, and continue. Now assuming C to be 0, it is valid. If there is a carry, it will not jump, because I have said jump is no carry. If there is no carry, it will jump. But if there is carry, okay, so this instruction will become invalid. If there is a carry, then this instruction, it will jump if no carry. It will jump only if there is no carry. But if there is a carry, what will happen? This condition will become false, and this INR C will be incremented to 1, right? So it means it will make carry 1 and go ahead. So again repeating, INR C will only be executed if there is a carry. If there is no carry, the processor will skip this instruction. And it will continue. But if there is a carry, this condition will become invalid, and C will be incremented to 1, and it will continue the rest of the instruction. So I hope the handling of the carry is clear. So after this, in any program, if there is a carry, this is how you are going to deal with this. The procedure is same. Take the register C as 0 by default. Okay. Do whatever you want to do till the part where carry can be produced. Suppose up to here, you do whatever you do. But after here, there is a possibility there is a carry. So to check the carry, okay, you have to put a condition. Then if there is a carry, you increment the C register. If there is no carry, you skip the increment and you continue the next instructions. Okay. What is skip? It is a level. You can give any name you want to give. Okay. Okay. So let us revise the program again. What I've done first, MVI C, 00H. What I've initialized? The carry register as 00H. Fine. Then this is our, suppose this is our 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. Okay, suppose we have the data, we have loaded the data with FF and FF. You have to add the data. I have not given the data in the program. Okay, you have to add it, you have to load the data by yourself. Okay, suppose I have taken the data as FF and FF. Now you have to add the data. What I have first done, since this is an addition program, there is a possibility there should be a carry. So I have initialized a carry register with 00 each. Fine. Okay. Then I have to fetch the first data from the program, from the memory. What is the instruction used for fetching the program? For fetching the data from memory? LDA 2000. You cannot use any other register because there is no instruction like LDB or LDC. Okay, you have to use only A register. So for A register there is instruction only LDA. So we are using LDA 2000H. So what will happen with LDA 2000H? A will get the data from 2000H. What is stored in 2000H? That is A will get FFH. Fine. Then I have to feed the accumulator data. So move B comma A. So whatever data is there in A will go to B. So B will be loaded with FFH. Fine. So whatever data was there in A will go to B. So B will be loaded with FFH. So our A becomes free. Then we load the second data from 2001H. That is LDA 2001H. That is A will get the data from 2001H. That is A will become FFH. Okay. A is loaded with the second data FFH. Okay. Now we have filled both the data. What is our next step? Add B. Add B. Okay. So after add B, what will happen? A plus B. Whatever data is there in A will be added with the data in B. That is FF plus FF. And after addition, where is the data stored? Result stored, the sum. The sum is stored in accumulator. Okay. FE. FE is our result. So it will be stored in A. Okay. Now there is a since there is a addition program, there is a possibility that there is a carry. So we will put a conditional jump JNC skip. If there is no carry, it will jump to some memory location. Okay. We don't know that memory location. But if there is carry, this is jump if no carry. But if I have told in the instruction, the conditional jump instruction in the video, that these instructions always checks the carry flag, right? So it will check the carry flag. If the carry flag is 0, then it will jump. But if the carry flag is not 0, if the carry flag is 1, then it will increment this C register. So our C register was 00, it will become 01 each. Okay. Then what you have to do? We have handled the carry. Now we have to store the sum. Where was the sum stored? In A, right? Where in A, that is STA 2002H. So whatever data was there in A will be stored in 2002H. Okay. Now where is our carry? In register C. Where is our carry? In register C. So move. We cannot write STC, right? So we have only instruction called STA. So what you have to do? You have to move the status of the carry from C to A. So whatever data is there in C, either 0 or 1, okay, that is stored in C, will move to A. Okay. So our carry has come to A. Now we can write STA 2003. STA 2003H. So whatever data is there in A, that is either 0 or 1, the status of the carry will go to A. Okay. And then we will end our program using halt. Now jump if no carry. Where is jump if there is no carry, where it will jump? Jump to skip. Where should I put skip? Over here. This is nothing but an address, memory address. Okay. When you compile it, the processor will take this as address. Okay. Understood? So here the carry flag is set to 1. So when it will come here, it will check the carry flag. It will see that the carry flag is set to 1. So this condition will become false. If this condition will become false, it will come here INR C, right? So C will be incremented to 1, that is 01H. Then we will store STA 2002, that is FE. We will store in 2002. Then move A comma C. What was in C? 01. So it will go to A. So A will contain 01. That is the carry flag, carry status. So again STA 2003. So whatever data is there in A, it will go to 2003. So 2002 will store FE and 2003 will store 01. Okay, understood? So let's take another example so that it becomes more and more clear. Let us take two simple datas. Now let us load with 05 and 04. We have to add these two numbers. Okay, what we have first done, we have initialized the C register with 00, right? Then LDA 2000H. What is done with LDA 2000H? The A is loaded with the data of 2000H. What is A? What is there in 2005? So A is loaded with 05H. Then move B comma A. What is loaded in B? 05, right? LDA 2001. So A gets 04H, right? Then add B. So A plus B, 05 plus 04. The answer is stored in A, that is 09H. Okay. J and C, it will check the carry flag now. Whether the carry flag is 0 or 1. See, here carry flag is 0, right? Carry is not set. So it will jump if no carry. So carry is not set. So this condition becomes true. So if this condition becomes true, this INR C, it will not be executed. It will directly jump to skip. Okay, because there is no carry. So this instruction will not be executed, INR C. So jump if not carry to skip. What is skip? What is there in skip? STA 2002. What is there in A? 09. So 09 will be stored in 2002. Right? Then move A comma C. What is there in A? What is there in C now? C is not incremented. So what is there in C now? 00. Right? 00. So 00 will get stored in A. Understood? Because there is no carry. Now whatever is there in A, that is 00, okay, will get stored in 2003. Okay, and then our program becomes, we will end the program by writing halt. Okay, so I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So you practice this. Don't by heart the programs. Practice the programs on your own. Okay, if you by heart the programs, you cannot learn programming. Okay, so I hope this program is clear. If you have any doubt, you ask me in the lab sessions. Okay. Okay, now the second program is write a program to add two numbers stored in memory location 2000 and 2001 using memory pointer. Then store the sum at 2002 and store the carry at 2003. Okay, now to start learning programming in a professional way, you have to know the use of M. Okay, M. What is M? M stands for memory pointer. All of you know this. In the very first second video I have told, M is memory pointer. Now M is the best programming tool. Now I am showing the use of M in the same program. The program which you have done before using LDA and STA. Okay, I am showing the same program using M. Okay, you will see after the end of the program, you will see this the use of M will give you a lot of flexibility to do the program. Okay, so I hope you remember M. What is M? M is the data stored in memory location pointed by HL pair. Okay, so if you want to access the memory location 2000, 2001, 2002 and 2003, what you have to first do, if you want to access these memory locations, you have to initialize the HL pair. Okay, you need to initialize the HL pair. So what is our first step? to do the program. What is our first step to make the HL pair 2000? How to make the HL pair 2000? What is the instruction? LXI H, 2000H. Okay. I hope you remember what is LXI H. Please, before you view the programming videos, okay, I want that all of you should cover all the instructions of 8085. Otherwise, it will be impossible you understand anything. Okay, and in the programming, I will not explain the same things again and again. Okay, because all the instructions I have covered. Okay, so the first instruction to initialize the HL pair is LXI H, 2000H. So what does LXI H 2000H means? Load immediately the HL pair by the value 2000H. Okay, that is HL pair will be loaded with the value 2000H. H will get 20 and L will get 00. Right? So for HL pair 2000H is the data. Right? Because X is there in the instruction. Right? Now we will use 2000 as an address. Whatever data is stored in HL pair, okay, it will act as an address. When it will act as an address? The moment you use M. When you use M, the data which is stored in HL pair, it will be referred as M, and then 2000H will be acting as address. But for now, this HL pair, this 2000 address for HL pair, it is a data. Okay, when you use M, this 2008 will act as an address. Okay. Now, whatever data is stored in HL pair, it will act as an address when you use M. Now, as you have initialized HL pair with 2000, okay, so you can use the data. Suppose this is our memory location 2000, 2001, 2002 and 2003. Okay. Okay. So what is the program? You have to add the location. You have to add the data of location 2000, 2001 and store the sum and carry at 2000 and 2002. Now, as you initialize HL pair with 2000, okay. So the data which is stored in the memory location 2000 will act as M. Right? Will act as M because HL pair is initialized with, now HL pair is initialized with 2000, right? So whatever data is stored in 2000, that will act as M. I hope you know all these things. Now now M is the locations data. So what to do next? We have to move this data to some other register. Move A, M. So whatever data was stored in 2000, that is M, will go to accumulator. Okay, because for addition, one operand should be always stored in accumulator, right? So this is the second step. What is the third step? To go to the next data, we have to go to next memory location 2001. Okay, now HL pair should be loaded with 2001 to get the next data. So what should I do? LXI H 2001. Is this the instruction? No. This is not the instruction. What we will use? You can write LXI H 2001, but we will not write because we have a smaller byte instruction INXH. If I write INXH, what will happen? HL pair will be incremented to 2001. So HL pair was a 2000. Now after writing INXH, HL pair has become 2001. So what is M now? The memory location pointed by HL pair. This memory location is now the new M. Right? Previously this was M. Now the new M is the memory location pointed by 2001. Okay. So one number is the first number I have stored in A and the second number is in M. So what is our next step? Because HL what is our next step? We have to add both the numbers, right? We have to add both the numbers. Now the next step is add M. So well, the first data was in accumulator and the second data is M, that is the data pointed by HL pair. So add M. So we will add the data of 2000 memory location and the data of 2001 memory location. The 2001 memory location we have first initialized in by LXIH, that is M was pointing the first data. We have stored it in A. Then we have incremented the HL pair. Okay. Then the new location pointed by 2001. It is the new data pointer, that is M. So we are adding both the numbers and then answer, after adding the answer will be stored in accumulator. Okay. Now what is the difference between this program and that program and the previous program? In the previous program we kept the numbers, we have first loaded the numbers in registers and then we have added the numbers, but here we can directly add the numbers stored in memory location. Now you understood? So as you add them, the number has to come in A. So A has the sum, right? After adding, A has the sum. Okay. Let us write freshly. What we have first done? We have first initialized the HL pair. We have first initialized the HL pair LXI H, 2008. Okay. Then what we have done? We have moved the first data, that is pointed by HL pair, into A. Okay. Now the first data is in A. Okay. Then what we have done? We have incremented the HL pair. So HL pair which was 2000, it will become, here HL pair was 2000, it will become now 2001. Okay. Then what we have done? We have the, now M is pointing the second data, right? So what is the fourth instruction? Add M. So the data stored in A will be added with the data pointed by memory location 2001, that is M. Okay. And after addition, the result will be stored in A, right? That is A now carries the sum. Now in the previous program, what we have seen, if there is a addition, there is a possibility of carry. Okay. Now as you are going to look for carry, now you have to handle the carry in the same way. How to handle the carry? First you have to initialize the carry register with 0, MVI 00H at the start of the program, right? Initialize the carry register, that is C, with the value of 00H in the beginning of the program. If there is a carry, then increment the carry register. So we will put a conditional jump instruction. Jump is no carry to skip. If there is no carry, it will jump to skip. And if there is a carry, then the C will be incremented by 1, that is INR C. Okay. If there is a no carry, this instruction will be skipped. Okay. And then what will happen? You see, we will jump to skip. So what will happen in skip? Now we have to, for storing the sum, we have to go to the next memory location. In 2000 was the first data. Okay. In 2001 you have the second data. In 2002 you have to store the sum, right? So for storing the sum you have to go to 2002. Now HL pair is pointing to 2001. Now we have to initialize the HL pair to 2002 for storing the sum. Okay. So again I will write INXH. So HL pair will be now 2002, right? Then next instruction we have to store the sum. Now what is M? When I write INXH, this is our M, new M. Okay. So here we have to store the sum. So move M, A, because the sum is in A. So move M, A. So if there is no carry, it will directly jump to INXH. It will directly store the sum. And if there is a carry, this condition will be false and it will increment the carry. Okay, that is C will be 0 1. Okay, then again we have to store the carry. So again we have to increment the HL pair. Again I will write INXH. Okay, so HL pair will be 2003, right? Then what we have to do? Where is the carry? The carry is in C register, right? The C register can be either 0 or 1. Okay, so move M. So after 2003, which is our new M? This is our new M. When HL pair is loaded with 2003, then which is our new M? The location pointed by HL pair, that is the location pointed by 2003 is the new M. So move M comma C. Okay, so the 2003 will be loaded with the carry. Okay, then we will end the program by writing halt. Okay, so I hope you understood. So let us revise the program again. First let us write the program, then we will see examples. 2 examples we will see. First we initialize the carry register MVI C, 00H. Then we will initialize the HL pair because I will use M. Okay, then I will initialize the HL pair. Now HL pair is 2000. Then we will move the first data to A. Okay, then again I will increment the HL pair so that I can get the next memory location. So HL pair is now 2001. Okay, then what you have to do? We have got both the numbers. Then we have to add the numbers, add M. Okay, so A will be added with the location, the data pointed by location 2001. Okay, then after addition there is a possibility of carry, so we will put a condition, jump if no carry to skip. If there is no carry, it will jump to skip. Okay, and if there is a carry, this condition will be false and the carry register, if there is a carry, the carry register will be incremented by 1. That is C will be incremented 1 if there is carry. Okay, then this condition will become false. It will jump only if the carry flag is 0. If the carry flag is 1, then this condition will be false. I am telling you again and again. Okay, so after these 2 instructions, what we will do? What it will do? Our HL pair was 2001. Now you have to store the sum. So you have to increment. You have to go to the next memory location, that is 2002. Okay, to store the sum. Now which is our new M? It was 2000, 2001, 2002 and 2003. So which is the new M? The 2002 memory location. So we will store the sum at this memory location. So how is the sum stored? In A. The sum is stored in A. So move M comma C. So sorry, move M comma A. So whatever the 2002 will store the sum. Okay, 2002 will store the sum. Then you have to store the carry also. So you have to go to the next memory location, INX 2003. Okay, then you have to move the carry, move M comma C. So this is once the HL pair gets incremented 2003. So which is the new M? Is 2003. So M will get the new value 2003. Okay, so the carry, whatever is there in the carry register, either 0 or 1, that will get stored in 2003. Okay, then we will end the program by writing halt. I hope this is clear. So let us take 2 examples. First, let us take 2 datas. The first data FF and FF. Let us take the first example. Let us store the number at memory location 2000 FF and the second data storing memory location 2001 FF. Now I have to add both the numbers. Okay. So what I have done. Now see what will happen. This is our program. First MVI C. C will be loaded with 00H. Then LXI H 2000. So HL pair will be loaded with 2000, right? Then move A comma M. What is there in, what is M? The data pointed by 2001, 2000. Okay, the data pointed by the memory location 2000. So what is the data pointed by memory location 2000? FF. So FF will get stored in A, right? Then INX H. So HL pair will be now incremented to 2001. So which will be our new M? This one. Okay. So add M. So A will be added with M. That is FF will be added with FF, right? And the answer will be stored in A. That is FE. Okay. FE will be stored in A. And the carry flag will be incremented to 1, right? Because the actual answer is 1 FE. So FE is the sum and 1 is the carry. So carry flag will be set, right? Then jump if no carry. In this instruction, the processor will check the carry flag. So the carry flag is set to 1. So but the instruction is jump if no carry. Only if the carry flag is 0, then only it will jump. But the carry flag is 1 here. So this condition becomes false. So once this condition becomes false, it will come to the next instruction, that is INR C. So C was 00. Now C will be 01, right? Then it will come to INX 2002. Sorry, INX H. INX H. So H will be 2002. HL pair will be 2002. Okay. Then move M comma A. Once it comes to 2002, which is our new M. This location is our new M. So what is there in A? FE. So FE will get stored in. FE will get stored in 2000. The memory location 2002. Okay. And INX H. H will be now incremented to 2003. Okay. Then move M comma C. So whatever. So which is the new M? This is our new M. So whatever is there in C, what is there in C? 01, right? So in 2003, our 01 will get stored, right? And then we will end the program, and then we will end the program by writing halt. I hope you have understood. Now let us take another example. Let us take two numbers 04 and 04. Okay, we have to add these two numbers and store the sum in 2002 and 2003. First we initialize the carry register with 00H. Okay, then we initialized the HL pair by 2000. Okay, then move A comma M. What will get in A? To the data of 2000, that is 04. Okay, then INX H. So HL pair will be incremented to 2001. So what is M now? This 04. Okay, make this 03. Okay, 03. So 04 will be added with 03, which is our M, right? And the answer will be stored in A, that is 07. And the carry, there is no carry, so the carry flag will be 0. So jump if no carry. So here this condition becomes true because here carry is not generated. Carry flag is 0. So it will, this condition becomes true. So if this condition becomes true, it will directly jump to this instruction, skip. Okay, skip is a label. This is this particular memory address. Okay, the compiler, when you compile this program, the assembler will take this as memory address. Okay, so it will jump to skip. So once it jumps to skip this, it will skip this instruction INRC because the condition is jump if no carry. So if carry is not generated, this instruction will not be executed. Okay, so it will directly jump to skip. So after skip, what will happen? INX H. Skip H was 2001. Now HL pair will be 2002. Right? HL pair will be 2002. So this is our new M. So what is there? So in the memory location 2002, what will be stored? The content of A. What is the content of A? 07. Okay. So this will get stored in 2000, memory location 2002. Okay, and again INX H. So H will be incremented to 2003, right? HL pair will be incremented to 2003. Then move M, C. So the memory location will get, what is the value of C? C is not incremented. C was 00. I have initialized the C 00. So 00 will get stored in 2003. So here we have got 07 and here we have got 00. And then we will end the program. Understood? I have shown you two examples, one with carry and another without carry. Here, so before you execute the programs, you have to load the data into the memory location. Okay, after first of all you write the program. Okay, you write the program. Okay, when you are executing the programs in simulator, for the first step write the program. The second step is load the data into memory locations. Okay, 2000 and 2001. Okay, then you compile. Okay, then both is execute. Okay, so these are the 4 steps that you have to do while you are executing the programs in simulator. Okay, so this is the second program using memory pointer. So I hope you all understood the program using memory pointer. Okay, the same program we have done using LD and STA now, and using memory pointer. Now I will show you the advantages of using memory pointer over LD and STA instructions. Okay. Okay. Now let's see the advantages of using M. The first advantage is, in the first program you can see we can only use A register. Okay, data can only be taken and stored from A by using LD and STA. But in second program you can see you can transfer program using any register. So you don't have to depend on A for everything. Okay, once you load the data, okay, you can use any register, right? So it gives you the flexibility to use any register. Now the second is the size of the program. Okay, now let's see the size of both the programs. In the first program, what was our first program? First you initialize the carry register MVIC, 008. Then we have loaded the first data LDA 2000H. Okay, then we have moved it to some other register, move B, A. Then we have loaded the second data, load 2001H. Then we have added both the datas at B. Okay, then we have put a condition, if it is not 0 it will jump to skip, but if it is the carry flag is set, then we will increment the carry register INRC. Okay, then we will store the data. Okay, that is we will store the sum. Our sum was in A. Okay, so we will store the sum in 2002. Then we will move the data, we will move the carry into accumulator. Okay, then we will move STA 2000. We will move the carry register. We will move the data of the carry register in 2003, and then we will end the program. So skip, this is basically a memory address. Okay, if you compile it, okay, the assembler will take the memory address and will jump here. Okay, so this is particular memory address. Then we have, let us see the second data MVIC, 00H. Then what we have done, we have initialized the HL pair LXI H, 2000H. Okay, then we have loaded the first data into A by using M. Then I have incremented the HL pair to 2001. Okay, then we have added both the data, add M. Okay, then what we have done, we have again put the condition jump if not carry to skip, and if the carry is set, the carry flag is set, we will increment the carry register INRC. Okay, then we will go to the next memory location to store the sum INXH. Then we will store the sum. Our sum is stored in accumulator, so we will store it in 2002. Then again we will increment the HL pair to store the carry. Our carry is in C register, move M, C, and then we will halt the program. So these are both the programs, the same program using two different methods. Okay, now which one, what is the size of the first program? Let's see. This is a 2-byte instruction, this is a 3-byte instruction, this is a 1-byte instruction, this is a 3-byte instruction, this is a 1-byte instruction, this is a 3-byte instruction. Because keep, it is a nothing but a memory address, so this will be this one opcode for what one byte for the opcode and 2 bytes for the memory location, so total 3 bytes. This is a 1-byte instruction, this is a 3-byte instruction, this is 1 byte, this is 3 byte, and this is 1 byte. So what is the total size of the program? 1 plus 3 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 1 9, 9 plus 3 12, 12 plus 1 13, 13 plus 3 16, 16 plus 1 17, 17 plus 3 20, 20 plus 2 22. So this is total a 22 byte program. Okay, now let's see here. This is a 2 byte instruction, this is 3 byte instruction, this is 1 byte instruction, this is 1 byte instruction, this is 1 byte instruction, this is again 3 byte because this is a memory address. So this is 3 byte instruction, this is 1 byte, 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 this is 1 byte. So in total 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 3 9, 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 1 11, 11 plus 1 12, 12 plus 3 15, 15 plus 2 17. So this is a total of 17 byte program. So you can very well understand which one is a smaller program. This is a smaller program, though the instructions are more, but this is a smaller program. So a good programmer is one who can use less number of spaces, who can make the program less in a small space. Okay, so this is the second advantage. Okay, this is a smaller program, this will consume less space, this will consume more space. Okay, now what is the third advantage and the main advantage? Now suppose if I change the program, I write a program to add two numbers stored in memory location 4000 and 4001. Okay, and stored the sum in 4002 and 4003. Okay, so what you have to, in the first program, what you have to change? How many instructions you have to change? You have to change the instruction LDA 4000, then again you have to change the instruction LDA 4001, then you have to change the instruction STA 4001 and STA 4002. So total you have to change 4 instructions, right? Sorry, 4002 and 4000. So the total you have to change 4 instructions. Okay. Now that is, you have to change the program 4 times, but in the second program you have to change the program only 1 time. That is, if you change only LXI H4000, and the remaining program will be same. So you always write the code, that is, always write the program in such a way that it can be easily modified. Okay, that's why while you do programming, always you prefer indirect addressing mode. Okay, always you prefer indirect addressing mode. Okay, because if you write the program, it can be easily modified. I've shown you by example. Okay, if I change the program, if I change the memory locations in the first program, you have to modify the program 4 times. Okay, but in the second program, you have to modify the code only 1 time. So it will make your job simpler. Okay, so write your program when you work in IT sectors. You have to write programs in such a way that you have to do less number of modifications. There will be errors. Okay, so while troubleshooting, okay, when you make the programs, while troubleshooting, you have to change the codes multiple number of times. So write the code in such a way so that you have to modify less, so that it can be easily modified. Understood? So always, so what in whichever language you write the program, always use indirect addressing mode. Is it clear? So I hope these two programs are clear and the advantages are also clear. So let us go to the next program, that is the block transfer programs. Okay. Okay. So our next program is write a program to transfer a block of 10 bytes stored in memory location 2000 to 2009 to memory location 3000 to 3009. That is, the program is, suppose you have a block of a series of 10 datas, 10 bytes. Okay. You have to transfer this block of data to these memory locations. Okay, some 10 datas are to 10 bytes of data are stored from 2000 to 2009. You have to transfer this data to 2000 to from 2009 to 3000 to 3009. Simple. Okay, that is, you have to just copy and paste. Now the three things that you have to realize while doing the program is, number one, what is the source address and what is the destination address. Okay, next, what is the source address, what is the destination address, and what is the count. Okay, so here in the program, what is our source address? The source address is 2000, right? What is the destination address? The destination address is 3000, right? And what is the count? The count is 10, but 10 is in decimal. Okay, you have to work on hexadecimal. So the count, convert the count decimal into hexadecimal, that is 0AH. Fine, 0AH. So now take the data. What is the first step? First step is take the data from location 2000H. Take the data from location 2000H into A, okay, and put it in 3000H, okay, and now put the procedure in a loop, okay, put the procedure in a loop, that is taking the data from 2000 to into A and putting it back into the destination. Put the procedure in a loop, okay. Now how to take the data from 2000 into from 2000 into A? LDA 2000, STA 2000, LDA 2001, STA 2001, LDA 2002, STA 2002. No. That is a childish programming. Okay. That is why I have told to use indirect addressing. Okay. Use indirect addressing mode. How will you do? Initialize the BC pair. Suppose this is BC, and for here we will use D. Initialize the BC pair with 2000. Then initialize the DE pair with 3000. Okay. Be careful about the registers. We have used BC, DE, BC and DE. Okay. So what is left? What is left? L is left, right? L is left because you have to take use A also. Okay. So you have to. So next is, so take the count. Take the count into L, right? Initialize the count in L, okay? Because you have already used BC and BC, and you have to use accumulator also, right? Then what is the fourth step? Take the data pointed by BC pair into A. Take the data pointed by BC pair into A, okay? Then next step, store it at memory location pointed by DE pair. First you take the data from memory pointed by BC pair into A, then store the data that is in accumulator into the memory location pointed by DE pair. Okay, pointed by DE pair. Okay, store the data of accumulator into the memory location pointed by DE pair. Then increment the BC pair. Increment the BC pair and then increment the D pair so that it comes to the next memory location 2001, 3001. Okay, so in this way put the whole procedure in a loop. Okay, put the whole procedure in a loop and your program is over. Clear? This is the algorithm. Okay, how to do the program. Okay, now let's do the program. So this is very simple. Now let's do it. It is very simple. Okay. Number one. What is the first step? Initialize the BC pair. How to initialize the BC pair? What is the instruction? LXI V comma 2008. So BC pair becomes 2008, right? For BC 2008 is the data. I will use an address at a later point of time, but first I have to initialize the register pairs. Okay, so initialize the register pairs. First I will initialize the BC register pair, then I will initialize the D register pair, that is the destination location in LXI D comma 3008. So I will initialize the destination location also. So DE pair is initialized with 3000, right? Then next I have to initialize the count MBI L comma 0AH. How many bytes were there? 10. So 10 in hexadecimal is 0H. So I have initialized the count in register L. So initialization is over. Initialization, this part is initialization. So I have initialized my registers. Fine. Now next we have to take the data pointed by BC pair into A. This was 2000. This was 3000. This is the source. This is the destination. Okay. This is 2001, 2002, 2003 and so on up to 2009, right? Similarly 3001, 3002, 3003 up to 3009. Fine. Now take the data pointed by BC pair. This is BC pair. We have initialized the source of this BC pair, initialized destination with DE pair. Now take the first data pointed by BC pair into A. What is the instruction? Take in your mind LDAX B. Now after writing LDAX B, who gets what? A gets the data from the location pointed by BC pair. Okay. Suppose here 01 was stored, so A gets the data 01, right? A gets the data 01. Now since BC pair is 2000, A gets the data of 2000. Fine. Then STAX D. What do you mean by who gets what? Store the data of A into the location pointed by DE pair. What is the location pointed by DE pair? 3000. So you have to store the data which was in A into 3000. That is 01 will get stored in 3000. So 3000 will get stored in, will now get 01. Okay. Fine. Then next, what you have to do? We have to increment both the pointers. That is, we have to put both the pointers to get to the next memory location. That is INX B. Next INX D. So B will be now 2001 BC pair. Okay, and DE pair will be now 2002. Fine. So BC pair gets 2001 and DE pair gets 2002. Now you are ready to do the next iteration, that is put the procedure in loop. So who has the count? L. So I have taught you how to make loops. We have learned all instructions of 8085. So please see the instruction first so that you can understand programming better. Okay. So I will not explain here how to make loops because I have already explained multiple number of times in that video. Okay. So how do you make iterations? Decrement the loop. Okay. DCR L. So L was 0A. Now it will become 09. Right. Then now put the procedure in loop by writing JNZ JNZ back. So back is a label. While I put the label here. While I put the label back. BACK here. Okay. So L has not become 0. So this condition will become true and it will jump here. LDXB. Now A will be loaded with the memory with the location pointed by 2001. Okay, suppose here it was 2002. Now A will be loaded with 2. Okay, and STXD. Now DE pair is, after I write to the DE, it will be 3001. Now the data of A will get stored in 3001. That is 3001 will get 02. Okay, then INXB again. BC pair will be incremented to 2002 and INXB will be incremented to 3002, right? Then DCRL, L will be decremented by 8. Okay, fine. Then JNZ back again. The count has not become 0, so we will go back. Okay, again LDXB. Suppose A here it is now 3. Now 2002 has now 3. It will go to A. So A will be loaded with 3, right? A will be loaded with 3. A will be loaded with 3. STXD. So DE pair, that is 3003, will get now 3. And again INXB, so 3002. INXB now B will be 2003 and 3 will be INXD. DE pair will be 3003. DCRL, L was 9. Sorry, L was 8. Now it will be 7. So again it will jump. Now again LDXB. So A is now suppose 4. So it is 4. Okay. So again 4 will be stored at 3003. So it will be stored at 3003. Okay. Again INXB 2000. It will become 2004. It will become 3004. Again DCRL. Now L will become 6. Again it will jump. So in this way the whole procedure will continue. Okay, and after the count becomes 00, after this count becomes 00, this condition will become false and it will come out of the loop and we will halt the program. So this is the program. Understood? So please tell me, did you understand? Now if I tell you to transfer 20 bytes, the program will remain the same. Only what you have to change? You have to change the count. That is, if I tell you 20 bytes, 20 in hexadecimal is 14 each, right? So you will be writing here 14 each. Understood? So if I change the source address and the destination on this also, only 2 instructions you have to change, right? Only 2 instructions you have to change. That is these 2 instructions, right? If I change the, suppose if I change the source address, destination 4000 and 5000, then only 2 instructions will be changed. So very little more, only the initialization part will be changed. So very less amount of modification will be required, but the main program part will remain the same. So I hope you have understood this program. So listen very carefully. If you take HL pair as your source instead of BC pair, your count would be in C because you have used HL and DE. Okay. Now before I go to this point, let us revise it again so that you make it very clear, so that it becomes very clear. Okay. I'll be coming to this point a bit later. Let us do the program with a small count. Okay. The same program to transfer the block with a 5 bytes. Let us do it a 5 bytes. Okay. Now we have source address, suppose 2000, 3000. Okay, in 2000 you have 01, in 2001 you have 02. When you will be executing the programs in simulator, you will become more and more clear. 2002, then 2003, 04, then 2004, 05. So these are the 5 bytes that are stored in memory locations from 2000 to 2004. So you have to transfer these bytes 3002, 3003, and 3004. So you have to transfer these 5 bytes of data into this memory locations. Okay, that is copy and paste. Now what is the first instruction? What is our first instruction? We have to initialize the register pairs. That is LXI D LXI B comma. Suppose I am using BC pair for the source and DE pair for the destination. So LXI B comma 2000 LXI D comma 3000, right? Then MVI L comma 05H. Okay, 5 in decimal and 5 in hexadecimal are same. So MVI L comma 05H. Then next, so initialize part is over. Now LDAX B. So LDAX B, A will get what? A will get the value of memory location pointed by BC pair. That is, A will get 01. Okay. Then STAX D. What will happen with STAX D? A, whatever is stored in A, it will get stored in memory location pointed by DE pair. What is the memory location pointed by DE pair? 3000. So in 3000, in memory location 3000, what will get stored? 01. Okay. Then I have to go to the next memory locations, INX B, INX D. So B will become 2001 and DE pair will become 3001. Okay. Then I have to decrement the one transfer is complete. So I have to decrement the count DCR L. Then I have to put the condition J and Z back. J and Z back. Where to go? Here. Okay. Then we have to end the program. Okay. So what will happen? DCR L will become 04. It was 5. Now L become 04. Count has not become 0. So again it will jump here. Now LDX B. Okay. So what will come into A? 02. Right? 02, because B is now 2001. So to the 2001 data is 02. So 02 will come into A. Then STXD, the data of A will go to the memory location pointed by DE pair, that is 3001. Okay, DE pair is now 3001. So here it will go, the data of accumulator will be stored in 3001, that is 02. Okay, again INX B, so B will become 2002, INX D, D with DE pair will become 3003, DCR L will be now 03. So again the count has not become 0, so it will go back. So LDX B, now BE pair BC pair is 2002, right? So which data it is referring to? 03. So A will get now 03. Okay, and STXD, so in 3002 DE pair is now 3002. What will get stored? 03. So 03 will get stored in 3002. Then INX B, BC pair will be incremented to 2003. DE pair will be incremented to 3003. Okay. Then DCR L will become now 2. Fine. And then again it is not 0. It will go back. Now A is 04. BC pair is now 2003. So the data pointed by BC pair is 04. So A will be loaded with 04. Then STXD, that the data stored in accumulator will be copied, moved to memory location pointed by DE pair, that is 3003. Now this 3003 will get now 04. Okay, 04. Then again INX B, it will be now 2004. DE pair will be 3004. L is 1. Okay, then it is again it has not become 0, so it will go back. So BC pair is now 2004. So A is loaded with the data located in 2004. So A is now 05. Okay. So in 3004, the data of accumulator will get stored. Okay. DE pair is now 3004. So the data of accumulator will get stored in 3004. That is 05. Okay. Then again it will be 2005 and it will be 3005. Okay. DCR L. Now L will become 0. Now jump if not 0. In now here this condition will become false because our 0 flag has already become 0 based on the previous instruction. The count has become 0, so the 0 flag has already been set to 0. Okay, so this condition will become false, and so the processor will come out of the loop and it will end the program. So by the end of the program, our data which was stored from location 2000 to 2004 is now copied to 3000 to 3004. So I hope this program is very clear. So if I change the count, you can do the program. If I tell you to transfer 30 bytes, the program remains the same. Okay, only you have to change the count. 30 in hexadecimal is divide 16 by 30. 16 to the 16 1 to 16. That is is 4. Sixteen in hexadecimal is 30. Sorry, 30 in hexadecimal. 30 bytes in hexadecimal is 24, right? 30 in hexadecimal is 24. Just check. That is, just put the hexadecimal form. Put the decimal hexadecimal form in the decimal. What if I tell you to write 30 bytes? Okay, convert into hexadecimal form. Okay, then and put it over here in the count. If I change the destination and the source address, just change the source and the destination address. Okay, fine, clear? So I hope this is clear. Now the point which I was telling is if you take HL pair as your source instead of BC pair, you can do that. Your count would be in C because you are using HL pair, you are using DE pair, and you are using A. So what is left? BC pair. So you can use your count in C. Okay. So you can write LXI H 2000, then LXI D 3000. Okay, and MVI C, 0AH. Fine. Now LDXB would not become LDXH. Understood? LDAXB is allowed. LDAXD is allowed. Then LDAXH is not allowed. LDAXH is not allowed because if you initialize LXIH, the next instruction will be LDAXH, right? To load the data of HL pair into A, right? But here LDXH is not allowed. Why? Why? In LDXB, you want to get the data from BC pair into A, right? In LDXB, you get the data from the location pointed by BC pair. In LDXD, you get the data pointed by DE pair into A. Okay. Now you want A to get the data from the location pointed by HL pair. Now the location pointed by HL pair is called M, right? So if you want A to get the value of M, you don't write LDXH. What you write? You write move A, M, right? Please tell me, did you understand this? Don't by heart, understand and write. You may experiment with HL pair, so I want that you should not make this mistake. So there is STAXB, similarly there is STAXB, STAXD, but there is no STAXH. There is no such instruction because H is you want to store the data of A into the memory location pointed by HL pair. To store the data of A into memory location pointed by HL pair, you have to write what? Move M, A. Okay. So these are the small mistakes that students do. So please remember these points. Okay. Do start watching the videos a week before the exam. You won't understand anything. If you watch starting the videos a week before the exam, you won't understand anything. Okay. So please see the videos of the instructions first, then see the programming videos. Okay, the more and more you do the programming, the more the interest will go for programming. Okay, so please do more and more programming. See the videos more and more and understand the programming much better. Okay, also practice the programs from your book. Okay, do write the questions, try to solve the programs by your own, then you will find more and more interest, because because I know you will see the instructions. Okay, so after seeing the instructions, the programming becomes very clear. Okay, so let us do the next program. Okay, now the fourth program is inverted block transfer. That is, you have series of data, you have 10 bytes of data from 2000 to 2009. You have to store this data from 3000 to 2009 in a inverted form, right? So 2009 data, that is 2000 data will go to 3009. Okay, 2001 data will go to 3008. 2009 data will go to 3001. Okay, that is, if it is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, it will be stored in 10 in memory location 3000 to 3009. It will be stored in 10 9 8 7 6 1. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So let's do that. What you have to first do, you have to first initialize the register pairs. First part is initialization. Okay, first part is initialization. Let us take this part as BC. Let us initialize this part as, so destination as DE. So first initialize the BC pair with 2000. Okay, and DE pair with 3000. Okay, take the data pointed by 2000 BC pair into A. Okay, store it in the location pointed by DE pair. Okay, store it in the location pointed by DE pair. Okay, first initialize the memory location BC pair with 2000 and initialize the DE pair with the last location, that is 3009. Okay, then put the data, take the data pointed by BC pair into A. Okay, and store it in the location pointed by DE pair. So your first byte transfer is complete. Okay, so again increment the BC pair, and decrement the DE pair. Okay, initialize the count as 10, that is 0A. Then what will be the next instruction? So what will be the instructions? So let us see the instructions. Let us see the instructions the same way. Okay, only a small change. First, let us initialize. You can tell by your own. Please tell. Please stay in your home. No one is watching you. Please tell the instructions on your own. I am writing here. You write in your copy. First, initialize. What should I initialize? I have told you the algorithm LXI B, 2000. Right? Then next initialization is DE pair. What will initialize the DE pair with 3009? Okay, then you will initialize the count MVI L, 0H. Right? So up to here it is clear. Are your instructions matching? Okay. So then next instruction is LDAX B. So whatever data is pointed by BC pair, that is 2008, will come to A. Right? Will come to A. That is the data of 2008 will come to A. Right? Then STAX B. Okay, so whatever data is there in A will go to the memory location 3009. Okay, then increment the BC pair INX B, that is B will become 2001, and DCX D will become 3008. Okay, then decrement the count BCRL, so L will become 09. Okay, jump if not 0 to back. So until the count becomes 0, you have to jump to back. Where should I put the label? Here, LDXB. So until when the count will become 0, it will come out of the loop. Okay, and it will end the program. So I hope this instruction is clear. The program is clear. Okay, it is same as the previous program. Do in your copy. Check, put some data. Okay, take the count less to take some data in the memory locations. check the program whether it is coming in the inverted form. Okay, practice in your home. The more and more you practice, I'm telling you repeatedly, the more and more you practice the programs, the more you will get interest in the programming. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's go to the next program. Okay, now next one. Block exchange. Suppose you have block of data stored in memory location from 2000 to 2009. Okay, and you have a second block of data located from 3000 to 3009. Okay, what you have to do is you have to take this data block of data from 2000 to 3000 and take this block of data from this set of memory location to this set of memory location. Okay, this data should come here, and that data will go there. Okay, and data of 3009 will go there. Okay, students find this program very tough. It is easy as that. Maybe one or two instructions you will be having more, but what are we going to do is what are you going to do is we will make the program more and more simple to you. Okay, so now tell me how to exchange the data of 2000 and 3000. First we will learn how to exchange the data of 2000 and 3000. Then we will put in a loop and we will continue in the same program, continue in the same way. Okay, so first we will see how to exchange the data of one memory location. Then you can exchange the data of other memory locations in the same way by putting in a loop. Okay, that is the advantage of indirect reducing. Now see here, what will initialize? We initialize the BC pair with 2000, initialize the DE pair with 3000 first. Okay, then we initialize the count L with 0AH. Fine. Now take the data pointed by 2000 into A. Okay, this is the first step. Take the data pointed by 2000 into A. Okay, now transfer the data into some other register. Okay, into some other register. Be careful about the registers. You have used BC, you have used DE, you have used L. Okay, you have used A. So what is left? H. Okay, so while you are using registers, be careful about the registers. So what is left? H. Okay, so the programming is fun. The more you focus, the more you learn. So transfer the data into the free register H. Fine, use the free register H. Then take the data pointed by 3000 into A. So after you take the data into H, so A becomes free. So take the data 3000 into pointed by take the data pointed by memory location 3000 into A. Fine, understood? So store the data at the location pointed by store from A at the location pointed by BC pair. So here, suppose here we have got the data, suppose P. Okay, here we have got the data, suppose Q. So in the first step, our P A was holding the data P. Okay, then we have moved into H. So H is holding the data P. Fine. Then we have taken the Q was stored in 3000. So we have taken the data Q into A. Fine. Then we will transfer this data from A to memory location 2000. So the P the P will be overwritten by Q. So the location which was storing P is now storing Q. So half of the exchange is over. Fine. So half of the exchange is over. So what you have to do next? What you have to do next? So from H, take the number into A. So what is H holding? H is holding P. So take the number into A. Okay, take the number into A. Okay, and then from A, store it in DE pair. So A is now P. Now this Q will be overwritten by P. Fine. This P will be overwritten by, so the Q will be overwritten by P. So here a 2000 Q has come and at location 3000 P has come. Okay. So repeat. So this is one exchange is over. So put these steps in a loop. Okay. So and end the program. Fine. Increment the BC pair and DE pair and decrement the AND. So let's do it all together. You do in your copy. I do it here. I have told the algorithm. So let's do it together. Okay. You do in your copy. What was our first step? First you have to initialize the register pair and the count. Okay. So let us initialize the register pair. LXI B, 2000H, LXI D, 3000H, okay, and MBI L, 0AH. So all your initialization is over. Now take the data pointed by BC pair into A. Okay, what will be the instruction? LDAX B. So A will get the data pointed by BC pair. What was the data? We have taken, for example, suppose P, or take the data as 01H. Okay, 01H. Okay, 2000 is storing 01H, 3000 is storing 02H. So this data will come here, this data will go here. Okay, so A is loaded with 01H. A loaded the first data. Now take the data from A into the memory location pointed by BC pair. Okay. Sorry. Now take the data pointed by, so we have taken the data 01H into A. So what you have to do next? From A you have to transfer into H. What is the instruction? Move H, A. So H will be holding now 01. Fine. Then take the second data pointed by DE pair into A. What is the data pointed by DE pair? This is DE pair. This is BC pair. Okay. So take this data into A, because A is now free, because we have loaded the data into H. Now A is holding, that is what will be the next instruction? LDAX D. So A is now holding 02H. Fine. A is now holding 02H. Then now take this data from A pointed by BC into the memory location pointed by BC pair. Okay. Now take this data from A into the memory location pointed by BC pair. What is the memory location pointed by BC pair? 2000. So we will take the data from A, that is we will store the data of A into the memory location pointed by BC pair. So A will store the data into the memory location pointed by BC pair, that is 2000. So 2000 will get now 01. So half of the exchange is over. Okay. Now what is H holding? 01. That is the, now we have to get the 01 in 3000. So where is 01 now? In H. So we will take the data again from H to A. Okay, we will copy the data from H to A, that is move A, H. So A is now again holding 01H. Okay, now from A store the data point into memory location pointed by DE pair. So STHD. So A will the value of A will get stored into the memory location pointed by DE pair, that is at 3000. Okay, so 2000 STXB, so it is 02. So X is here 02 will come, and at 3000 01 will come, that is here. So one exchange is over. So then INXB will increment the INXB. Okay, so B will be 2001. INXD D will be 3001. Okay, then DCR L will be 09. Okay, then J and Z back. How will we put the level back here? Okay, back. BACK back. Okay, then we will end the program. we will end the program. Okay, so do the program on your own in your copy. Don't by heart. You cannot learn programming by hearting. Set that logic clear. So there are these are the initial programs of 8085. I'll pick up the programs which will cover most of the logic, and you'll understand something new. Once you understand those, you can pick up other programs. So I'll try to pick up the other programs. Okay, you also try to pick the programs from the books. Okay, so I'm revising this program once again with a smaller number of count. Let's see. Okay, let's see for the last time. This is your, I am taking 3 datas. Okay, we'll exchange the data. This is 01, this is 02, this is 03. So these are the set of data stored in memory location. So 3000, it is 04, 3001 is holding 05, 3002 is holding 06. So this set of data will come here. After execution, your program will be 2000 will store 04, 2001 will store 05, 2002 will store 06. Okay, and 3000 will store 01, 3002 will store 02, 3003 will store 03. Okay, so let us write the program. First initialize the registers LXI B, 2000, LXI B, 3000, MBI L, since you have taken 3 data, 03H. Okay, so your initialization is over. Now take the data pointed by BC pair into A, that is LDAX B. So A will get the data, which data? For data pointed by BC pair, that is 01. Fine. Then from A transfer into H. Move H, A. So H will get now 01. Fine. Now take the second data from pointed by DE pair into A. What is the data pointed by DE pair? 04. So LDAX D, that is A is now 04. Fine. Then take the data from A, that is store the data from A into the memory location pointed by BC pair. Which is the memory location pointed by BC pair? 2000. So store the data from A into the memory location pointed by BC pair. So STAX B. So A will be storing into the memory location pointed by BC pair, that is at 2000. That is A 2000, that is 04. A is 04, so 404 will get stored in 2000. So this will be overwritten by 04. Okay, then now we have to get the data from H into A. What is H holding? 01. Okay, that is the data which was in 2000. So move A, H. So A will be now 01. Okay, so from A stored in the location pointed by DE pair, that is STAX D. So A, the data of A will get stored in the memory location pointed by DE pair, that is 3000, that is 01. That is 3000 will be storing 01. So one exchange is over. 01 has gone there and 04 has come over here. See, one exchange is over. So we'll increment the registers INX B and INX D. So B will become 2001 and D will become 3001. Okay, we will decrement the loop. L will become 02, J and Z, back. How it is back? Here, back. Okay, then halt. Okay, so let's go here. So L has not become 0, so we'll go here LDX D. So A will become now What is the now in DE pair? What is now in DE pair? Sorry. Back will be here. Okay. So what is LDXB? So A will be loaded with the data pointed by BC pair. What is BC pair now? 2001. So A will be loaded with 2. Move H comma A. So the data of A will move to H. Then LDHD. A will be loaded with the data pointed by DE pair. What is the data pointed by DE pair? 05. Because DE pair is now 3001. Then STAXB. The data of accumulator will be stored in the BC, into the location BC pair. Okay, what is the data in A? What is the data in A? 05. Okay, so it will be loaded. It will stored in the location pointed by BC pair, that is 2001. So 2001 will get the data 05. Okay, then move A comma H. So whatever data was there in H, what was in H? 02, it will go to A. Okay, so A will be loaded with 02. Then we will put the data of A into the memory location pointed by DE pair. What is the memory location pointed by DE pair? 3001. Okay, so 3001 now will contain the data 02. Okay, then again INSB, INXD, it will become 2002, it will become 3002. DCRL, L will become 1, JNZ back, again it will go here. So now A will be loaded with the data located by BC pair, that is 03. Then we will move into H, that is 03 will go to H. LDXD, A will be loaded with now 06. STXB, what is there in A will be stored in 2002, that is 2002 will get now 06. Then move A comma H. A will be loaded with the data stored in H, that is 03. A is now 03. Now STXD, the data of A will be stored in the memory location pointed by DE pair. So 3002 will now contain 03. Okay. So INXB, INXD, it will be now 2003, 3003. DCRL, L will become 0. Now when L will become 0, this condition will become false. It will not jump back. Okay, because 0 flag is become 0, so it will come out of the loop and it will end the program. So after execution, your program, your output will be like this. So I hope this program is clear. So these are the today's program. I hope you have learned understood all the programs. If you have any doubt regarding the programs, please ask during the class sessions. Also take programs from your book like Gaokar, Mazidi. Mazidi is a wonderful book. Okay, take programs on your own. Practice. The more and more you practice, the more you will become a good programmer. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the learning today's learning. So practice the more programs on your own and wish you good. Do well. Bye.